My wife, Lu Nguyen, used to constantly complain to me about her fresh grad male assistant. He graduated from some highly prestigious C9 League university, she said, yet the guy couldn't even put together a simple PowerPoint presentation.
His fashion sense was an absolute disaster. Plaid shirts paired with windbreakers, it made her want to hide her face in pure embarrassment. He was completely ruining the company's image.
But now, right in the middle of a crowd, that very assistant's girlfriend is screaming at her, calling her a homewrecker. She even steps up and slaps her across the face.
And Lu Yunyin, a notoriously stubborn heiress who never backs down, she actually chooses to forgive the girl, all because of just a few words from him.
I was just walking into a meeting room when her female assistant called in an absolute panic. "General Manager Kai," she cried out, "Director Lu just got assaulted. You need to get here right now."
Hearing that, my brain pretty much short-circuited.
Lu Nguyen got hit. I didn't even waste time thinking or calling my driver. I just bolted straight for the parking lot, floored the gas, and sped toward her office.
Luckily, her company wasn't that far, and pushing my Rolls-Royce to its absolute limit meant I got there in just a few minutes.
Standing in the elevator, I quickly called the police. You can probably guess what happened next. By the time I stepped into Lu Nguyen's office, the scene was a complete mess. One side of her face was completely red, definitely a slap mark. She was absolutely furious, screaming her head off in pure rage. Opposite her stood a young woman, pinned down by two assistants. Tears streamed down her face as she yelled right back at Lu Nguyen, refusing to back down.
She screamed, "You are the other woman. Just because you have a little money, you think you can ruin someone else's relationship? Do you even have any shame?"
Someone like you calls yourself a member of high society? Did you even know we are already engaged? The heavens and the earth can testify to our true love.
Furious, Lu Nguyen stormed forward, raising her hand to hit the girl back. I immediately shouted her name to stop her, but she didn't even hear me, struggling violently against the assistants.
She shrieked out, "Me? The other woman? Have you even looked in a mirror lately?"
Just look at your pathetic, broke self. Do you honestly think you have the right to be my rival? The assistants shot me these desperate, pleading looks for help.
I rushed over and grabbed her arm, telling her to calm down, but Lu Nguyen shoved my hand away, yelling at everyone to get lost and stop holding her back. My hand just hung there in midair, pushed aside in complete embarrassment. Then she screamed, "That girl actually dared to come here and mess with me."
"If I do not beat her half today, my name is no longer Lu."
Seeing Lu Nguyen losing her mind like this, I had to step in again to stop it. Right at that exact moment, a tall, well-built guy rushed over and wrapped her arms tightly around her. "Nguyen, please do not do this. I am begging you." Unbelievably, those few words actually worked. Lu Nguyen actually stopped struggling. She turned to the man, angrily pointing right at his face, yelling, "And you dare beg me? Isn't this whole entire mess your fault to begin with?" Her voice was full of frustration and anger, sure, but somehow I could clearly hear a tiny bit of sweet gentleness hidden right beneath that harsh scolding. For someone as proud as Lu Nguyen to take this kind of humiliation and just stand there, this guy was definitely no ordinary person. I turned to the female assistant and asked who he was. She quietly replied that he was also Director Lu's assistant, a guy named Ye Dang Tang, so it was really him. It finally clicked. Lu Nguyen used to complain to me constantly about this exact same fresh grad male assistant. About how his C9 League degree was useless, how he couldn't even make a PowerPoint, how his outfits were an absolute joke, plaid shirts, windbreakers, or suits paired with ugly sneakers. Day in and day out, completely embarrassing the company. Back then, I just told her to fire him if he was such a bad fit. She works in brand management. Why keep an assistant who dresses like a complete slob around the office? After that, she never brought his name up again. I honestly figured she had already fired him. But here is the twist you probably didn't see coming. The guy she supposedly hated was still working here, completely ditching those cheap windbreakers for a tailored suit worth thousands. He looked incredibly sharp and charming. Who knew Ya Dang Tang actually had such striking good looks? I also noticed he didn't call Lu Nguyen by her director title like everyone else did. He used her actual first name. Finally, Lu Nguyen noticed me standing there. She quickly ran over, a brief flash of pure panic crossing her face. "Badat, why are you here?" I simply told her I heard she got hit, so naturally I had to come see.
She insisted she was fine and could handle it. Right then, 2 police officers walked in. Lu Nu-yin instantly flared up, screaming, "Who called the cops?"
Who gave you permission to call the police? The assistants shrank back like frightened little birds. I calmly replied that I was the one who called. She scoffed coldly. Someone like me, Lu Nu-yin, doesn't need the police to settle a score. If word gets out, won't everyone just laugh at us? I explained that since she came to the company to assault someone, we could absolutely demand attention or even press serious criminal charges against her. That would be a much better lesson than just trading slaps and insults. Hearing my logic, Lu Nu-yin couldn't argue back at all.
Under my firm insistence, everyone headed down to the police station. When the cops confirmed that refusing mediation meant immediate detention, Lu Nu-yin's eyes lit up. She instantly refused to settle.
At this point, the girl who started the fight panicked.
She completely broke down, crying her eyes out as she screamed. She bought my fiancé outfits worth thousands, and they were even hugging. You tell me, does that look innocent to anyone?
I tried to endure it, but the moment she saw me, she called me broke and ugly. Who bullies someone like that?
The officer beside us pointed out that it still wasn't a valid reason for assault. I just looked straight into Lu Yuyen's eyes. When exactly did you two hug?
She freezes, ducking her head to avoid my stare. Yi Dangtang steps right up to her, bowing down. His eyes are completely red as he begs, "Can you please forgive her?"
Please do not let her get locked up. This is all on me. It is entirely my fault.
Boss Lu can hit me or yell at me all she wants, but please do not press charges against her. Lu Nu-yen glances at me, then back at Yi Dangtang, her eyes darting away, full of obvious hesitation.
I stand up to leave, but Lu Yuyin immediately chases right after me.
She grabs my hand, desperately explaining herself. "Honey, buying him those clothes meant absolutely nothing. I just wanted our staff to have a slightly better professional image."
I work in brand management, so I have to care about visuals. Everything I do is strictly for the company.
And do not listen to her crazy nonsense about us hugging. We were literally just playing some games during a team building trip.
Right then, Yi Dangtang runs up behind us, desperately calling out Lu Nu-yen's name over and over. "Nu-yen, please just forgive her." I quietly ask one simple question.
So, is the relationship between you two really that simple? Before Lu Nu-yen can even get a word out to answer, Yi Dangtang gently tugs on her sleeve, calling her name.
But Lu Yuyin whips her head around and screams right in his face. "Are you completely blind?
My husband is standing right here, so why would I care about you? Why are you begging me? Do you honestly think I deserve to get hit? I am busy talking to my husband. Could you please stop following me around like this?"
Her voice is so loud that everyone nearby turns around to stare. Yi Dangtang totally freezes, his eyes welling up with tears as he turns away and drops his head.
He has this incredibly fragile, broken look to him. But no one else notices that Lu Nu-yen is actually squeezing my hand tighter and tighter. I stare coldly at the two of them, a chaotic mess of emotions completely swirling inside me. Right then, my phone rings. My assistant says our VIP guest is arriving. This is a massive business deal, so it would be totally unacceptable if I did not go greet them.
Go take care of your work, honey. I am perfectly fine. I will handle all this. Lu Nu-yin plays the understanding wife, but there is almost this hidden trace of relief in her voice.
Well, she is the one who took the hit.
No matter how worried or frustrated I might feel right now, if she insists on handling things her own way, I will just let her. But as for Yi Dangtang, I immediately call up a friend and ask for a full, deep background check on him.
I finish up at the office and get home pretty late. Surprisingly, Lu Nu-yen is already there. She even had the maid prepare a massive feast for us. Bird's nest soup, fresh braised red snapper, steamed egg with premium mushrooms, and a fresh seafood salad, all beautifully laid out on the table.
Lu Nu-yen runs right over to take my coat, acting incredibly sweet and attentive.
But you have to realize something. We grew up together, so I know every single one of her little tricks. I just wait for her to confess. And exactly as expected, she finally admits she settled the dispute right after I left.
Honestly, I never really wanted to send that girl to jail. I just needed to teach her a lesson that you absolutely have to pay a price for hitting someone.
I give her a fairly cold, empty stare.
Lu Nu-yen awkwardly continues her excuse. Besides, I work in brand management. Blowing this up wouldn't do us any good, so I just listened to the police and agreed to mediate.
But do not worry. I did not lose out. That crazy woman slapped her own face and literally kneeled in front of me before I finally forgave her. I am actually pretty surprised she handled it like that. But it makes sense. That girl comes from an ordinary family and worked incredibly hard to get here. If she actually got arrested, her entire life would be completely ruined. She was terrified. Honestly, I really did not expect her to beg like that just to settle things.
I look right at her, unable to hold back a sigh. Making someone kneel? Were you not worried someone might snap a photo and destroy the company's image?
That is just way too extreme. I paused for a second, then quickly remind her. This whole dramatic mess started because of Yi Dong-tang after all. Lu Nuyen immediately cuts me off. This whole thing, honestly, has absolutely nothing to do with Yi Dong-tang. She came to cause trouble, and he had zero warning. And honestly,
I definitely did not forgive her for his sake. I just want to do my job perfectly, so my dad stopped saying I am useless and handing everything over to Liu Loc-dong and Liu Mingguet.
those two are constantly gossiping that I only got lucky by marrying a great guy. She smiles, picking up a fancy piece of sea snail and dropping it into my bowl.
Try this phoenix tail snail, honey. It tastes absolutely incredible. She is so obviously changing the subject, and I am fully aware of it, but I force myself to bite down on my anger.
Ever since we got married, Lu Yuyin has desperately wanted to prove herself and shake off that useless trophy wife label. And I have always fully supported her. Sure, she can be pretty arrogant and a little stubborn, but she has always stuck by my side since we were kids. When we tied the knot, everyone praised our perfect social match, calling us the absolute golden couple of our circle. I have always been so incredibly patient with her. She used to tell me that whenever I was around, she felt like she would forever be a spoiled little princess. But here is the kicker. Soon after, my friend sends over Yi Dongfeng's full background file, right along with an attached photo. In the picture, Lu Nuyen is hugging Yi Dongtang tight. Her whole body is leaning right against his chest, arms wrapped securely around his waist. Her half-hidden face shows this incredibly sweet, shy expression. The background is clearly some outdoor street corner. It looks absolutely nothing like those innocent team-building games she was just rambling about earlier. If any random stranger looked at this exact photo, they would immediately assume these two were a deeply passionate, devoted couple. My friend even left a quick warning text. "You better watch your back with this guy, man." My entire body instantly runs completely cold, like I just fell straight through solid ice. I always felt pretty confident about my relationship with Lu Nuyen. We grew up together, our personalities balanced out perfectly, and since we were little, she absolutely adored and looked up to me. Honestly, after we grew up, she was actually the one who chased after me. I truly believed our bond was rock solid and totally unshakable. Then, right at that exact moment, Lu Yuyen's phone left out in the room suddenly pinged with a new message. She was taking a shower. I just couldn't help myself. I picked up her phone to check. It was from a contact, simply saved as the teaching assistant. The text said he had clearly told his fiancé about calling off their engagement. No guessing needed. It was definitely sent by Yi Dong-tang. I couldn't hold back any longer. The second Lu Nuyen stepped out of the bathroom, I confronted her. "Is this Yang Dong-thung? Why would he report his canceled engagement to you? What is the connection here?" She grabbed the phone to look. A hard-to-read expression flashed in her eyes, but her lips curled up slightly, while her voice stayed completely casual. "How should I know why he told me? Texting in the middle of the night, his head is definitely totally messed up." Even though she said that, her screen kept lighting up several more times. Eventually, Lu Nuyen couldn't resist grabbing her phone and retreating into the bedroom. It seemed like Yi Dong-tang calling off his wedding made her pretty happy. That night, we still lay down right next to each other. I could hear her tossing around, unable to sleep. Her phone screen just kept flashing on and off endlessly in the dark. Throughout that entire night, something between Lu Nuyen and me had definitely shifted. The natural closeness we always shared had visibly faded away into thin air. I decided to pay a visit to her company, simply because I wanted to protect the relationship we had built together. As soon as I walked in, I spotted Yan Tang lounging in a chair, confidently ordering the other assistants around like he owned the place. Everyone surrounding him showed absolute, unquestioning respect. Honestly, that whole scene looked absolutely nothing like the incompetent, struggling new assistant Lu Nuyen had so casually described to me earlier. If I didn't know better, I would have assumed he was the boss. Seeing me, he hurriedly stood up and nervously called out to General Manager Kai. He said Director Lu was in a meeting and would finish soon. He invited me to sit while bringing over some tea, but right as he placed the cup down, the tea suddenly spilled everywhere. Luckily, I reacted fast enough to dodge, but my pants still got soaked. He quickly apologized, insisting he really didn't mean to do it. I waved him off, speaking coldly. I actually read your job description. Hosting guests is supposed to be one of your core duties. Is this how you treat guests? Have you never received any basic business etiquette training? I really want to know. What exactly is your salary here? $15,000. Good. So, how do you afford a Brioni shirt on that wage? Just the other day, you were even wearing Keton gear.
Both are authentic designer brands. As far as I know, Director Liu does not offer a clothing allowance for assistants. Not to mention, you come from a small rural town, right?
And why does every single employee call her Director Liu, while you get to casually use her actual first name directly?
Ya Dengtang's face turned red. He claimed she told him using her name was fine. I just gave a faint smile and stayed silent.
Right then, Lu Nuyen walked over. Seeing Yi Dongtan standing before me looking so incredibly awkward, her eyes instantly filled with sharp questions.
I pointed directly at the wet stain on my pants and the spilled tea. Seems you can't even pour a simple cup properly, so just get out. Yang Tong flushed deeply and hurried out the door.
Hubby, what brings you here today? She quickly shut the door behind him. Now, it was just the two of us left alone in that room. I came to talk about Ya Dongtang. Hearing that he was the reason for my visit, she crossed her arms and leaned back against her chair, watching me with total caution. You yourself told me his skills were strictly average, and that you even planned to let HR fire him completely.
So why are you spending thousands on his designer clothes now? Why does he alone get this special treatment, while the rest of your staff gets absolutely nothing?
Lu Nuyen completely froze for a second, before slowly answering. She said he actually passed the exams for a top university, proving he has real talent, but just lacked opportunities. Now watch her defense. She claimed I had no idea how much a guy from a small town like him had suffered. At first, she did want to fire him, but he begged her, promising to work his life away if she just gave him one single chance. On a recent winery trip, he even stepped up to drink on her behalf, ending up completely hospitalized. She called that kind of employee incredibly rare. He apparently made her realize that human connections shouldn't just be about cold, calculated benefits. As for those expensive designer clothes, she openly admitted buying them. Fine feathers make fine birds, she claimed. Wearing that gear makes him look much more like a proper brand representative. Plus, she felt partly responsible for his broken engagement. Right then, I understood it all. It was just so incredibly simple.
Yi Dengtan used that naive, fresh grad routine, perfectly mixed with his endless tragic sob stories, to completely win over Lu Nuyen's deep sympathy and affection.
And that line about not just calculating benefits between people, I asked if she meant our own relationship was built on nothing but pure calculation too. I asked her straight up. He likes you, right? There is no way you can't see it.
You are a married woman. Whatever his reasons for canceling his wedding, he shouldn't be reporting it to you. If I had a female assistant getting this exact kind of special treatment, how would you actually feel?
We just stared at each other. This was the very first time things ever got this painfully tense between us. Things are escalating now. I wasn't backing down. I made my stance crystal clear. Someone like Yi Dongtang absolutely cannot exist inside our relationship.
That was my absolute bottom line. Lu Nuyen stayed totally silent for a long time before slowly replying. She promised to keep her distance, swearing nothing was actually going on.
She says that, but her voice is completely shaking. I just shake my head. Dangtang has to leave. Absolutely no way.
She loudly protests. My heart just sinks. Something deep inside me completely crumbles. I tell her, so disappointed, you were never like this before.
Lu Nuyen turns her face away, and after a long time finally says she gets it. So Yi Dongtan quits his job at her company right after that. I actually offered to help find him a decent job at a highly respected company, but Lu Nuyen firmly and completely refused. From what I know, she arranged a new workplace for Ye Dongtan herself. But the bigger issue is this massive crack forming right between me and Lu Nuyen. No matter how much I care, we just cannot go back to how things were.
Could all our years of deep feelings really fracture this easily? Back then, at dinner, Lu Nuyen used to happily chatter away with me, barely taking a single breath between her endless stories.
But today, she just eats and scrolls her phone. Then suddenly, she slams the device hard onto the table. Why are women so shameless these days? They see a handsome guy and just throw themselves right at him.
I look up at her, knowing instantly she is talking about Yang Tan. Lately, we had this unspoken agreement to never bring him up.
Yet I still know his current situation like the back of my hand. In just a short time, he has caused massive waves right beside Lu Nuyen.
I cannot keep ignoring this. Now watch how fast this escalates. Lu Nuyen actually set him up at her friend's company.
That exact friend even called me to ask what kind of holy being Yun Dengtheng is to be valued so highly by her.
They even added that several girls at the office are clearly showing major interest in him, making sure to report every single big or small detail directly back to me. Right before bed that night, Lu Nuyen suddenly gets a call. Seeing the caller ID, she immediately turns around and takes the phone out to the balcony. But I still clearly hear her anxious voice shouting into the receiver, "Where are you? Tell me right now." Right after that, she just grabs her coat and rushes straight outside.
She says she has something to handle and not to wait. It is past 11 p.m., but I still feel uneasy, so I follow her.
Soon enough, I spot Yang Dongtang sitting right by the roadside. He clearly drank quite a lot, his face twisted in pain, hair messy across his forehead, looking totally exhausted and lonely.
Lu Nuyen hurries over. Seeing her, Yi Dongtai immediately pulls her into a tight hug.
He buries his head into her neck, softly whispering that he shouldn't have called. He apologizes, claiming those female bosses heavily forced him to drink, and he couldn't afford to offend anyone.
Nu Yuyan looks completely heartbroken as she tries supporting him. How could I stomach that sight? I instantly step out of the car and march over.
Lu Nuyen drops her hands. Both of them finally notice me standing there. Her gaze towards me holds a bit of guilt, deep confusion, and even some completely undeniable annoyance. Wan Dongtai, meanwhile, hastily pushes her away from him.
Manager Kai, I am so deeply sorry. I really did not know what to do. I just wanted to work properly, but they treated me like this instead, so this is all my fault?
Director Lu, you need to go home now. He lightly pushes Lu Nuyen right toward me, but she actually grips his hand even tighter instead.
You don't need to apologize to him. She says that, glares right at me, and angrily asks if I arranged all of this. I already told you why Dongtang and I have absolutely nothing going on. I even made him quit his job. So why? Why would you still send people to harass him like this?
He just wants a normal job. My face goes completely serious. I ask her what I even did. You know exactly what you did. Don't think I am clueless. Those friends of yours all listen to you, don't they?
So it was you who ordered them to play dirty with Dongtang Tang. On his very first day, female staff harassed him, and now he gets dragged out drinking by female bosses.
The person sleeping next to me every night is actually questioning me, making my heart go cold. She should have understood my character by now.
Why would I ever do something like that? Why isn't there even a single ounce of basic trust left?
Yeah, Dang Tan's role was always just a simple assistant. Didn't he used to follow Lu Nuyen to all those breweries before? He even constantly took drinks on her behalf.
How is he suddenly the victim being bullied now? Lu Nuyen, do you even hear yourself right now? I clearly haven't done a single thing. I try to explain, but Lu Nuyen just smirks coldly. She helps Yi Dongtang into her red Ferrari, softly telling him it is okay, and she will take him home. You see this? Compared to her attitude toward me, it is like facing a total stranger. I actually try stopping her, but she doesn't even bother glancing my way for a second before speeding off. Yang Tang just rolls down the passenger window, giving me this incredibly smug, victorious smirk.
Lu Nuyen doesn't come back all night, finally returning late the next evening.
I sit in the living room waiting. Looking slightly surprised and unable to dodge me, she asks why I am up. I simply reply, I heard you went to your friend's place to help Yet Dang Tang quit. She instantly freezes, then just gives a cold, sarcastic smirk. She mutters that my friends really do listen to me, eagerly reporting back the very second anything happens.
That is right. It is me. After all, Yu Dangtheng couldn't keep being humiliated there. I just completely ignore her sarcasm and keep pushing.
You even had someone register a brand new company, planning to let Wai Dongdang manage things exclusively for you, right? Lu Nuyen violently kicks off her heels, furiously demanding to know who keeps reporting everything to me and who the real boss is. I reply coldly,
Half the shares of your company belong to me. Did you actually forget? That single sentence instantly forces Lu Nuyen to suppress her raging anger.
She wanted to become the brand manager. But with her current reputation and skills, nobody out there would give her a job. She totally relies on the Liu and Qi families sharing their resources.
And the only reason the Liu family actually lets her touch those internal resources? That company is half mine. To put it bluntly, she only has all this because I have her back.
I asked Lu Nuyen if she can explain this. How is what she is doing any different from completely funding his entire lifestyle?
She tells me not to be so incredibly harsh, claiming she just feels sorry for him. He worked hard for 10 years to get into a top college, yet people still doubt his actual skills at work.
He just wants to stand firm in this city. Is that wrong?
My voice drops cold. So many poor students struggle like that. Why doesn't she pity anyone else? I have literally never seen her do a single act of charity before.
If Yang Dongtang did not have that handsome face she likes so much, would she really be defending him this hard?
Those words completely freeze her in place. She stands there, unable to say anything for a long time. When she finally speaks, her voice softens with some quiet frustration and resentment.
She tells me, Bedard, I know you are amazing, and everyone says I married a great husband, but honestly, I just feel so much pressure.
If she doesn't constantly yield to me, her friends and family blame her, telling her it is her fault and she needs to reflect. She is just really tired. Can I understand that?
But Yi Dongtan is not like that at all. He is always ready to stay right by her side, completely going along with whatever she wants.
I just nod. A guy she is perfectly willing to buy incredibly expensive clothes for, and even opens a whole private company just for him.
Isn't a rich young lady like her totally worth him spoiling her? And on top of that, she has the nerve to say she feels pressured.
If she wants to be a trophy wife, I will gladly provide. If she wants a real career, I am fully prepared to hold up the entire stage for her.
Yet somehow, that exact support has now become her pressure. And all of this is just because I firmly forced Yan Dongtang to quit, so now she secretly brings him right back to her side.
Lu Nuyen, then let's get a divorce.
Cheating is just cheating. So she really needs to stop using those pure and noble-sounding excuses. I say those exact words coldly, without carrying a single drop of emotion.
Liu Nuyen instantly loses her color. She tells Bardot he is being way too serious about this, claiming we are only having a tiny little argument.
Am I really asking for a divorce over this? Are our dozen years of feelings for each other truly going to end just like this?
We have only been married for a single year. She asks why I would treat her like this just because of Yu Dongtang and her refusing my arrangements.
Now watch closely, because this is where the truth drops. I stand up and show her my phone, the bedroom photo Yi Dongtan sent me last night.
Lu Nuyen is fast asleep, her head resting right on Yi Dongtang's arm. I called her all night long while she was busy sleeping right next to him. Did she forget our wedding vows already? Promising to never betray each other for a lifetime? If so, then a divorce is happening.
Lu Nuyen's lips start trembling. She refuses, saying there is no way she will agree to a divorce, begging me to listen because absolutely nothing happened last night.
She claims she just drank some wine, got tired, and fell asleep there. She swears the only person she loves is Bardot. Neither of us leaves happy that day. And when I finally announce the divorce to both our families, I am instantly met with harsh resistance from absolutely everyone. It is quite embarrassing to admit. When we first got married, we were everyone's perfect love model, a completely flawless match between two equal families. Lu Nuyen even told everyone she had a secret crush on me since our middle school days, and I genuinely loved her lively charm, so people basically called it the perfect marriage of the century.
Lu Nuyen's father explodes in fury.
Right now, Liu Nuyen is partnering with our Qi family on several massive projects, some of which barely even started recently, so her father immediately takes action and chases Yi Dongtang away.
Desperate to keep me around, Lu Nuyen begs me miserably. She even stops going to the company entirely, following me around every single day. She has the maid cook my favorite dishes and personally delivers them to me. But the crack is already there. Things can never return to how they were. I suggest we separate temporarily, but she fiercely rejects the idea, constantly trying to prove her complete sincerity to me over and over. Yet I can still see it. She occasionally stares blankly at her phone screen. Even though she claims to have cut all ties with Yi Dongtang,
I just cannot bring myself to believe her anymore.
There is absolutely zero trust left between us now. And as for Yi Dongtang, that guy still endlessly begs for a chance to see Lu Yiyin again. Meanwhile, Lu Nuyen takes the initiative to swear to me that she will never see him again.
You know those promises never last, right? One heavy rainy day, the maid approaches, saying there is a silent man just standing right outside our villa, completely ignoring all her questions.
Before I can even react, Lu Nuyen frantically rushes straight out to the balcony. I look past her shoulder, and there is Yi Dongtang.
He is standing right in the pouring rain, completely soaked to the bone. I get ready to call security to throw him out, but Lu Nuyen pulls my arm back. She tells me to just ignore him, insisting he will walk away on his own soon.
She goes back to the sofa and keeps playing on her phone, but she looks completely distracted. I just watch her in total silence, not saying a single word.
A whole hour passes. Lu Yuyen finally snaps, unable to take it anymore, and stands up, saying she is going out there to scold him once and for all.
She practically sprints outside in a panic, not even grabbing an umbrella. I stand there on the balcony, watching Lu Nuyen run straight towards him.
The two of them loudly argue and pull at each other. He screams her name, saying he truly loves her, asking what is wrong with loving someone, even if he has no money. He yells that he is not going anywhere, claiming he will go crazy if he cannot see her. He asks why she even cares about him if she claims not to.
These two fight like wild beasts out in the pouring rain, but suddenly they pull each other in close, wrapping it all up with a pretty deep kiss right there in the downpour. What a truly miserable pair of lovebirds. I am just standing up on the balcony, calmly raising my phone to snap a picture of their little passionate moment.
Right after that, the maid immediately gathers up all of Lu Nuyen's belongings. She packs every single thing into boxes and tosses it all straight out of the villa.
I specifically bought this villa to be our newlywed home. Lu Nuyen does not ever need to come back here.
Lu Nuyen and Yi Dongfeng actually leave together that day, but later on she starts calling me frantically, still absolutely refusing to sign the divorce papers.
I already had the divorce papers drawn up, my lawyers bringing them over, with a very clear deadline attached. If Lu Yuyen refuses to sign, I am taking this straight to court. In the agreement, I am completely claiming back every asset that belongs to me, plus most of our shared property. Lu Nuyen only gets to walk away with the dowry from her Lu family. I know things probably will not reach the courtroom, since that would make everyone lose face. Though honestly, I do not even care about saving face anymore. Since Lu Nuyen cannot get into the house, she shows up at my company to block my path.
She grabs my arm in a total panic, begging me to just let her explain things.
She claims she really just wanted to send him away at first, to stop him from causing a scene at the house. But after that, she somehow lost control of herself, says she must have been possessed. She actually admits that she caught feelings simply because Ya Dongtang was pretty handsome and always listened to her.
He gave her this weird mix of feeling foolish, but also totally refreshed. So because of that, she just kept indulging him over and over again.
And also because he spoke so politely and looked quite pitiful. She grips my hand tight, speaking incredibly fast in a total rush, terrified I am going to ignore her completely.
She even says I can do whatever I want as long we do not divorce. She is actually trying to use her Lu family parents as some kind of guarantee.
If I just forgive her this once, she promises she will seriously settle down with me. I finally cut off her endless, desperate rambling. I already told them not to let Lu Yuyen anywhere near here. Who exactly gave the order to let her inside? Do they want to get fired?
I shoot a quick glare at my secretary, who immediately mumbles an apology. Honestly, Lu Nuyen is never going to change her ways.
You can see exactly what's happening here. She constantly gets swayed by Ya Dongtang's little emotional performances. Our marriage actually had a real chance once.
Like the time she forced Ya Dongtang to quit his job, or when her dad literally chased the guy away just recently.
But Lu Nuyen still could not let him go, always secretly keeping in touch. She completely failed to be faithful to me, and failed this entire marriage.
I tell Lu Nuyen that the lawyer already gave her the final deadline. If she does not sign, I am taking this straight to court, and I absolutely mean it.
She has exactly 5 minutes to leave right now, or I am calling security. Well, before my deadline even hits, the lawyer reaches out to me a few days later.
Lu Nuyen finally agrees to sign. She shows up wearing this thick coat, her eyes looking incredibly tired and distant. She looks at me. Kiba dot. Let's just divorce. I nod and get ready to sign, but she suddenly hesitates. She whispers that she does not want a divorce. I just look at her calmly, my voice completely stripped of any emotion. I tell her I already know the truth about her pregnancy. That baby is definitely not mine.
Her jaw just drops, and for a long moment she cannot even speak. She finally panics, demanding to know how I found out. With no other choice, she grabs the pen and signs the papers.
She mutters that she never expected us to end up quite like this. Her eyes get all red, and honestly, the heartbreak actually looks pretty real this time.
I cannot help but throw one last reminder at her. She keeps calling Yang Tang's ex-girlfriend a total lunatic, but did she ever actually bother to understand their past?
Lu Nuyen simply refused to decisively end her pregnancy, which meant that once Ya Dangtan found out, he treated it like a literal treasure, trying absolutely everything to convince her to keep the child. He claimed he had known his ex since middle school, but Ya Dangtang also swore he only felt gratitude toward that girl, not actual love. He said their whole engagement was entirely forced. He swore his feelings for Lu Nuyen were completely different from what he felt for his ex. Listen to her being so resolute. It actually makes this easy. I have absolutely nothing left to say. My kindness is completely used up here. But of course, Lu Nuyen still tries calling me back. Kai Badat, I regret everything, she cries out. She says she still loves me, breaking down into tears right behind my back. I do not even turn around.
Hearing the word love come out of her mouth now is just utterly ridiculous.
The Lu family obviously refuses to accept this brand new relationship. They will never let her stay with some completely penniless guy like Ya Dongtong. But love is funny. The more people oppose them, the harder they cling to each other. Her dad even tries forcing her to move overseas, furiously threatening to make Ya Dongtong disappear for good if they do not stop.
Facing all these threats, Lu Nuyen pushes back hard. She actually runs off with Yi Dangthang to officially register their marriage. When her dad finds out, he completely loses it. He immediately cuts off every single ounce of her financial support.
Through all this absolute chaos, I just keep my mouth shut. I avoid saying anything to the media, making sure both of our family's stocks stay perfectly stable. Until one day, Lu Nuyen unexpectedly shows up at my door. She is wearing heavy makeup, but it cannot hide the dark bags under her eyes or how totally exhausted she looks.
She just stands there silently. Her bright, confident energy from before is completely gone. I tell her coldly, "Do not call me by that name anymore." The tears instantly start falling. She sobs that she was so wrong about everything, and Dang Tang completely played her, and he only ever wanted her money. He never actually cut things off with his ex. They basically never even broke up. And worse, that girl is also pregnant now. I just stand there, saying absolutely nothing. Lu Nuyen was absolutely sure the Lu family would never abandon her, which is exactly why she impulsively ran off to marry Yi Dangthang.
But shocker, that completely fake romance of theirs quickly revealed its incredibly ugly true colors.
Turns out, Yang Tang and his ex-girlfriend had been secretly tangled up for years. Their bond was deep, definitely not just some simple high school fling.
His ex-girlfriend actually funded his life heavily back in the day. If she hadn't, he wouldn't have bothered begging Lu Nuyen for forgiveness now. Plus, I already knew Yi Dangtang never really cut ties with his old flame in the first place.
I actually warned Lu Nuyen about all of this.
But right in front of me, she is just sobbing her eyes out, an absolute mess, wailing about how he only ever wanted her money and expected her to single-handedly boost him straight into the entertainment industry.
Crazy, right? She booked a clinic appointment to end things and wants a divorce. But Yang Dangtang is demanding a massive payout to actually sign those papers.
Her parents do not even care anymore. No phone calls, zero financial support, leaving her with absolutely no other choice but to come find me. Ever since we were kids, whenever anything went wrong, Lu Nuyen ran straight to me.
Back then, people always joked that she was my little shadow, my tiny future wife. We actually did end up getting married later on, but it definitely was not a fairy tale ending. I was just completely blinded by my own foolish illusions at the time.
"I never should have left you," she says. Lu Nuyen completely breaks down, practically begging me for one more chance to start over together. "I am so sorry. I am truly sorry," she cries. "Can I please try to win you back?" She grabs my hand tightly, but I just coldly brush her away. "Impossible," I tell her. Without another word, I turn and walk away, while she stumbles right behind me.
Kai Badat, how can you be so incredibly cruel? I have loved you for over 10 years. Why are you so heartless?
You won't even give me one single chance. She just keeps sobbing as she speaks. I am definitely going to win your heart back. Just give me one tiny chance, please.
I stop right in my tracks and fire back. Lu Yen, do you have absolutely zero self-respect left? You betrayed my feelings, you cheated on me, and now you want a do-over?
You are literally daydreaming. She chokes on her own tears, but still desperately tries to hold on.
I heard you and my family are collaborating more closely now, she says. Doesn't that mean you still have feelings for me deep down?
I let out a pretty cold laugh. I am a businessman. The Lu family owes me. If they willingly offer profits, why wouldn't I take them? You are just their disgraced ex-wife anyway.
If she could previously rely on me to grab some shares and assets from the Lu family, right now, Lu Yen has been completely and utterly kicked to the curb.
Now think about this. The Lu family is huge, absolutely packed with half-siblings. Whether in business or marriage, Lu Yen's future is looking incredibly bleak. From that day forward, I just buried myself completely in work, leaving any romantic stuff purely up to fate. As for Lu Yen, she finally managed to get her divorce, thanks to Lu Fuk's help.
After 2 totally failed marriages, she became incredibly worn out, completely losing that bright, arrogant spark she used to have. Eventually, the Lu family just shipped her away overseas for good.
As for Ya Dongteng, rumor has it he clung to a wealthy older woman and actually entered the entertainment industry.
Too bad that flashy world is brutal. Before he could even get famous, he was completely blacklisted, vanishing without a single trace left behind.
Whether he offended that rich lady or the Lu family crushed him, I honestly have no idea. All this messy drama simply has nothing to do with me anymore.